Hello ladies and gentlemen, in this video, we are going to cover the current affairs of 4th week of November. Now this is a direct compilation of daily current affairs videos, so some information may be repeated again and again. So now, let's start. Which state government has decided to constitute State Folk Art Council? Right answer is Chhattisgarh. So recently, Chhattisgarh government has decided to constitute State Folk Art Council. Now, if we talk about Chhattisgarh, recently Chhattisgarh was in news as Garbage Cafe was started in Chhattisgarh in Ambikapur, and here food will be provided in exchange of plastic. A similar initiative was started by Bongaigaon district of Assam. Here, the district authorities launched an initiative to provide plant saplings in exchange of plastic waste. Bongaigaon was also in news as recently a skill development initiative was started for jail inmates in Bongaigaon district of Assam. Now, if we talk about Assam, recently Assam was in news because of Arundhati scheme. Answer in comment box, what is the objective of Arundhati scheme? Which state government will provide sportsperson 5% reservation in government jobs? We have already covered this question, so right answer is Madhya Pradesh, and recently Madhya Pradesh government decided to provide 5% reservation to sportspersons in state government jobs. So national and international medalist sportspersons will get 5% reservation in state government jobs in Madhya Pradesh. The aerial bridges named Jingkiang Zri belongs to which Indian state? Right answer is Meghalaya. So the living root bridges, also known as Jingkiang Zri, are in Meghalaya. Now these are aerial bridges which are built by weaving and manipulating the roots of rubber tree. Now if we talk about Meghalaya, Meghalaya was in news as it became the first state of India to have water policy. Meghalaya was also in news as recently India International Cherry Blossom Festival was celebrated in Shillong in Meghalaya, and this festival was jointly celebrated by India and South Korea for the first time. Meghalaya was also in news as recently Justice Mohammad Rafiq was sworn in as the Chief Justice of Meghalaya High Court. IRCTC, that is Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation Limited, has recently signed a MOU, that means Memorandum of Understanding, with which state government to restart Golden Chariot train. So recently, IRCTC has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Karnataka government to restart Golden Chariot train. If we talk about Golden Chariot train, it is an initiative of Karnataka government along with Union Ministry of Railways. If we talk about Golden Chariot, it started operations in 2008 and it is South India's first and only luxury train, but its services were suspended by the Karnataka government temporarily on the account of huge loss. And now IRCTC has signed Memorandum of Understanding with the state government to restart this service. Now, if we talk about Karnataka, recently Karnataka was in news as it had signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Asian Development Bank to improve water security in Karnataka. And for this, Asian Development Bank is going to provide $91 million loan support. Apart from that, Karnataka was also in news as recently Karnataka government has directed the Bengaluru Mahanagar Palika to install GPS devices in all garbage trucks in Bengaluru city. Karnataka was also in news as it won Vijay Hazare Trophy. Which noted personality topped the Fortune's Business Person of the Year 2019 list? Right answer is Mr. Satya Nadella. So CEO of Microsoft, Mr. Satya Nadella has occupied the top position in Fortune's Business Person of the Year 2019. If we talk about Microsoft, recently Microsoft was in news because of K-12 Education Transformation Framework. So recently Microsoft launched this initiative in India, and the objective of this initiative is to ensure digital transformation of schools in our country. Now if we talk about education, recently Department of School Education in Jammu launched Aao School Chale initiative. The objective of this initiative is to facilitate more and more enrollments in government schools. So this was launched in Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory. Jammu and Kashmir became the Union Territory from 31st of October as the state of Jammu and Kashmir was bifurcated into two Union Territories. 31st of October is also celebrated as National Unity Day.
as it is the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. NASA has recently detected water vapors on which moon of Jupiter? Right answer is Europa. So recently, NASA scientists have detected water vapor above the Jupiter's moon Europa. Now, as per the expectations, Europa may hold twice as much water as Earth. If we talk about NASA, it is National Aeronautics and Space Administration. It is space agency of USA. And recently, NASA was in news because of Viper initiative. Viper stands for Volatiles Investigating Polar Exploration Rover. So this rover is going to explore the south pole of moon. NASA was also in news because of ICON satellite. ICON stands for Ionospheric Connection Explorer. So the satellite is going to explore the region where air meets space. So this area is going to be explored by where air meets space. So ICON satellite is going to explore the area of interaction between air and space. Which country was the host of India ASEAN InnoTech Summit? Right answer is Philippines. So Philippines was the host of India ASEAN InnoTech Summit. This summit held in Davao in Philippines. And this is the second summit. The first summit held in New Delhi. Now, if we talk about Philippines, India and Philippines are celebrating 70 years of diplomatic relations this year. Philippines was also in news because of the fact that Philippines Army is going to buy India's BrahMos missile. It is one of the fastest supersonic missile. BrahMos is a joint venture between India and Russia, and the name of BrahMos is formed from the name of two rivers, Brahmaputra of India and Moskova of Russia. Answer in comment box, what is the present range of BrahMos? Which state has made it mandatory for all the industries and factories to keep sanitary pads for women staff? Right answer is Assam. So recently, Assam government has made it mandatory for all the industries and factories of Assam to keep sanitary pads for their women staff. So that is a good initiative by state government. Now Assam was also in news because of Arundhati scheme. It is a gold scheme by state government. That means as per this scheme, Rs 30,000 will be provided to the bride to purchase gold for marriage function. Now Assam was also in news because of Mission Talent Hunt. This is an initiative by Assam government to groom talent for Olympics. Assam was also in news as recently it unveiled new land policy. Which company has been recognized as IT Ratna of Karnataka by Software Technology Parks of India? Right answer is Infosys. So Infosys has been recognized as IT Ratna of Karnataka at Bengaluru Tech Summit 2019 for IT exports by the Software Technology Parks of India. Now, if we talk about Infosys, recently Infosys Foundation Chairman Sudha Murthy was in news because of her book, and the title of her book is The Daughter from a Wishing Tree. Infosys was also in news as recently Volvo selected Infosys as the main supplier to deliver digital transformation services. Volvo is a luxury car maker company and it is from Sweden. And recently, Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg was awarded International Children's Peace Prize. Which one was the theme of World Toilet Day? Right answer is Leaving No One Behind. So World Toilet Day was observed on 19th of November and the theme was Leaving No One Behind. World Toilet Day was observed on 19th of November. 19th of November was also celebrated as International Men's Day and the theme was Making a Difference for Men and Boys. On the other hand, 20th of November is celebrated as World Children's Day. In India, National Children's Day is celebrated on 14th of November. The Union Cabinet has recently passed a bill to grant ownership rights to residents of unauthorized colonies of which state and union territory. So, right answer is Delhi. So, recently Delhi Cabinet approved the bill to provide a legal framework to grant ownership rights to the people living in unauthorized colonies in Delhi. Delhi was also in news as recently Delhi government launched Mukhyamantri Septic Tank Safai Yojana. Delhi was also in news as recently IQ Air Visual released a report on air quality. And as per this report, Delhi is the most polluted city in world. This IQ Air Visual is a Swiss-based group. According to Chit Funds Amendment Bill 2019, what is the maximum commission for a person managing the fund? Right answer is 7%. So recently Chit Fund Amendment Bill was passed by Lok Sabha, and the bill raises the monetary limit for chit funds by 3 times. Previous amount was 1 lakh and now it is 3 lakhs. This amount is for the chit funds which are managed by individuals, that is by one person or by less than 4 persons. Now, if any chit fund is managed by 4 or more partners, then the limit is 18 lakhs. Previous limit was 6 lakhs. In addition to this, the bill contains the provision that the maximum commission for person managing the fund is 7%. Previous percentage was 5%. Which city is the host of News and Mobility Summit? Right answer is Manesar. So Manesar in Haryana is the host of News and Mobility Summit. Manesar is in Haryana, and recently Haryana government was in news as it has decided to create DFC, that is Department of Foreign Cooperation. Haryana was also in news as India's first plant to convert paddy straw to CBG, that is compressed biogas, will come up in Karnal district of Haryana. Haryana was also in news as recently Union Environment Ministry has granted clearance to Indian Oil Corporation Limited to set up second generation ethanol plant in Haryana in Panipat. India-Europe 2019 Business Forum held in which city? Right answer is New Delhi. So the 5th edition of India-Europe 2019 Business Forum held in New Delhi. The event was organized by MEA, that is Ministry of External Affairs, in collaboration with CII, that is Confederation of Indian Industry. Which company became the first Indian firm to cross rupee 9.5 lakh crore market capitalization mark? Right answer is Reliance. So recently Reliance Industries became the first Indian firm to cross 9.5 lakh crore market capitalization mark. Presently, Mr. Mukesh Ambani is the chairperson of Reliance Foundation, and recently his wife Miss Neeta Ambani was in news as he became the first Indian trustee of New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art. Recently it was verified that there is no microbial life at ponds of Dalol geothermal field. The field belongs to which country? Right answer is Ethiopia. So recently researchers have found that in Dalol geothermal field in Ethiopia, microbial life was absent. That means there is no life possible in this Dalol geothermal field, and this field is in Ethiopia. This research was recently published in a research journal, Nature, Ecology and Evolution. So Dalol fields are part of Ethiopia. Now if we talk about Ethiopia, capital of Ethiopia is Addis Ababa. Recently Ethiopian Prime Minister Mr. Abiy Ahmed Ali was awarded Nobel Peace Prize in 2019 for his efforts towards peace and international cooperation. Now answer in comment box which countries are part of Horn of Africa. The largest biotechnology conglomerate of India was organized in which city? Right answer is New Delhi. So India's largest biotechnology conglomerate was held in New Delhi, and it was organized by Department of Biotechnology, and this Department of Biotechnology is under Ministry of Science and Technology. So Ministry of Science and Technology along with BIRAC organized this largest biotechnology summit. If we talk about BIRAC, it stands for Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council. If we talk about Science and Technology Ministry, present minister is Dr. Harshvardhan, and recently Science and Technology Ministry released nanotechnology guidelines. The 172nd Defense Pensioners Adalat was organized in which state? Right answer is Uttar Pradesh. So Defense Minister Mr. Rajnath Singh inaugurated the 172nd Defense Pensioners Adalat in Uttar Pradesh capital Lucknow, and he became the first Defense Minister to be the part of this event. This Defense Pensioners Adalat aims at redressing the grievances of pensioners. Now if we talk about Uttar Pradesh, recently Etawah Lion Safari in Uttar Pradesh was opened for public. Apart from that, Uttar Pradesh was also in news as recently it launched immunization campaign against Malaria. Uttar Pradesh was also in news as recently Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath inaugurated
North India's first sugar mill which will produce ethanol. This mill was inaugurated in Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh was also in news as it is going to be the host of 2020 Defense Expo. Which word has been chosen as the 2019 Word of Year by Oxford Dictionary? Right answer is climate emergency. So, climate emergency word has been declared as 2019 Word of Year by Oxford. Indian Army recently commemorated the Poonch Linkup Day. The Poonch district is in which state or union territory? Right answer is Jammu and Kashmir. So it is in Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory, and the event was organized to pay tribute to the soldiers who sacrificed their lives defending Poonch during 1948 conflict. The event was conducted to mark Operation Easy, which aimed to defend the Poonch district from invasions from Pakistan. The destination Northeast Festival held in which city? Right answer is Varanasi. So this festival held in Varanasi and it was organized by Ministry of Development of Northeast region. Now if we talk about Varanasi, it is in Uttar Pradesh, and recently Uttar Pradesh was in news as Hema Malini inaugurated India's first plastic to diesel conversion plant in Mathura. Hema Malini is the MP of Mathura and Mathura is in Uttar Pradesh. Recently Mathura was in news as India's first elephant hospital was started in Mathura. Mathura was also in news as recently India's first elephant memorial was opened in Mathura on Agra-Mathura highway. Now, UP government was also in news as recently it launched immunization campaign against Malaria. Elavnil Valarivan, an Indian player, is associated to which game? Right answer is shooting. So, C is associated to shooting, and recently Miss Elavnil Valarivan, Miss Manu Bhaker and Mr. Divyans Pawar won gold medal in the ISSF World Cup final. ISSF stands for International Shooting Sports Federation, and the headquarters of ISSF is in Munich in Germany. And Germany was in news as it was the focus country of this year Kolkata International Film Festival. Which city attained the first rank in India in the Global Prosperity Index? Right answer is Bengaluru. So Bengaluru emerged as India's highest ranked city. Globally, Bengaluru is on 83rd position. Overall, Zurich in Switzerland is on top position as per this index. India is to buy 13 Mk-45 naval guns from which country? Right answer is USA. So recently, USA has approved the sale of 13 naval guns to India, and this announcement was made by DSCA. DSCA stands for Defense Security Cooperation Agency. Who won the World Athlete of Year award in men's category? Right answer is Eliud Kipchoge. So Mr. Eliud Kipchoge won the World Athlete of Year award in men's category, and Mr. Kipchoge is the first man to run a marathon in less than 2 hours. Mr. Eliud Kipchoge is from Kenya. If we talk about Kenya, capital of Kenya is Nairobi. Who is the author of book Finding the Gaps? Right answer is Mr. Simon Toffel. So former Australian cricket umpire Mr. Simon Toffel launched his book Finding the Gaps, and this book was launched in Pune. Mr. Simon Toffel is from Australia. Australia's Prime Minister is Mr. Scott Morrison. Pune is in Maharashtra, and recently Mr. Uddhav Thackeray became the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. He is from Shiv Sena. Which state has launched immunization campaign against malaria? Right answer is Uttar Pradesh. So recently, Uttar Pradesh government launched immunization campaign against malaria. We have already covered this question. Uttar Pradesh was also in news because of Dastak campaign. Answer in comment box what was the objective of this campaign. Which city is the host of 3rd Military Literature Festival? Right answer is Chandigarh. So Chandigarh is the host of 3rd Military Literature Festival. The festival will be in December. The Indian Railways Institute of Financial Management has been inaugurated in which city? Right answer is Hyderabad. So Indian Railway Institute of Financial Management was started in Hyderabad recently. Now, if we talk about Indian Railways, present Railway Minister is Mr. Piyush Goyal, and recently he announced that Indian Railways will be net zero carbon emitter
by 2030. And recently, European Union also announced its target that European Union will be first carbon neutral continent by 2050. Apart from that, recently New Zealand passed a bill that has the provisions to make country carbon neutral by 2050. New Zealand was also in news because of euthanasia bill. DRDO is to double the range of which Indian missile? Right answer is Astra. So DRDO recently announced that it is going to increase the range of Astra missile. It is air-to-air missile and it has been developed by DRDO. DRDO stands for Defense Research and Development Organization. DRDO is under Defense Ministry. Present DRDO chief is Mr. G. Satish Reddy. Now coming back to Astra missile, the present range of Astra missile is 110 km, and as per DRDO, it is going to be increased to 160 km. Now it should be kept in mind that Astra missiles are integrated with Sukhoi Su-30 aircrafts of India. Coming back to DRDO, DRDO was also in news as recently 41th DRDO Directors Conference held in Delhi. Which city is to host the first ever counter-terrorism tabletop exercise for Quad countries? Right answer is New Delhi. So NIA, that is National Investigation Agency, hosted the first ever counter-terrorism exercise for Quad countries. Quad countries are India, USA, Japan, Australia. And this first counter-terrorism exercise was conducted by NIA. NIA stands for National Investigation Agency. And this CTTX, that is Counter-Terrorism Tabletop Exercise, is first such engagement among Quad countries. Now coming back to NIA, NIA was formed in 2009 and it is under MHA. MHA stands for Ministry of Home Affairs. The present NIA Director General is Mr. YC Modi. Which successionist mobile application has recently been removed by Google from Play Store? Right answer is 2020 Sikh referendum. So following the request of Punjab Chief Minister Mr. Amrinder Singh, Google has removed the successionist anti-India mobile application 2020 Sikh referendum. So it was a successionist mobile application and it was removed on the request of Punjab Chief Minister. If we talk about Punjab, Punjab is going to be the host of 2019 World Kabaddi Cup. Punjab was also in news as recently Punjab passed a unanimous resolution to institute Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Award. Recently, 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji was celebrated, and on this occasion, Air India depicted Ik Onkar on its tail. If we talk about Air India, recently Air India was in news as it became the first airline in world to use taxi boat. As per November 2019, which state has topped the country in terms of road crashes? So recently, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways released a report and the title of report was Road Accidents in India. And as per this report, Tamil Nadu is the state with highest number of road accidents. In terms of death due to road accidents, Uttar Pradesh is on top position. Now, if we talk about Tamil Nadu, recently, second informal summit between Indian Prime Minister and Chinese President held in Mamallapuram in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu was also in news as it became the first state of India to have a law on contract farming. Tamil Nadu was also in news as recently NCRB released crime data. NCRB stands for National Crime Record Bureau and it is under Ministry of Home Affairs. So as per NCRB data, Tamil Nadu is on top in terms of grave crimes. Answer in comment box which state was on top in terms of crime against women. The Indian government has decided to expand the 3S program. 3S stands for Smart, Safety, Surveillance in our country. So the concept of 3S is a brainchild of which organization? Right answer is WHO. So it is a brainchild of WHO and India is going to expand this 3S program in our country. 3S stands for Smart, Safety and Surveillance. This program was introduced by WHO considering limited safety data on vaccines in our country. So under this 3S program, as of now, India is evaluating rotavirus vaccines. So this initiative is related to vaccines and it is an initiative by WHO. WHO stands for World Health Organization. Now, if we talk about vaccine, recently Pakistan became the first country to launch new typhoid vaccine approved by WHO. Recently, Pakistan was also in news as it has resumed postal services with India. The services were suspended after India's decision to bifurcate Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories. The All India Institute of Ayurveda is to work in collaboration with which country for integrating Ayurveda principles with modern medicine? Right answer is Australia. So All India Institute of Ayurveda, that is AIIA, has signed a memorandum of understanding with Australia with aim to promote collaboration in research and developing guidelines for integrating Ayurveda principles with modern medicine. If we talk about Australia, recently SBI, that is State Bank of India, became first Indian bank to have office in Australia's Victoria. Apart from that, Australia was also in news as recently Ashley Barty was given Dawn Award, and Dawn Award is Australia's highest sport honor. Australia was also in news because of CTTTX, that is counter-terrorism tabletop exercise, and recently NIA, that is National Investigation Agency, hosted first ever counter-terrorism exercise for Quad countries. 4 countries are part of Quad. These are India, USA, Australia and Japan. So this first counter-terrorism exercise for Quad countries was hosted by NIA in Delhi, and it was counter-terrorism tabletop exercise. The Indian government is to provide broadband connectivity to 2 lakh gram panchayats by March 2020. The initiative has been undertaken under which scheme? Right answer is BharatNet project. So Government of India had set a target of providing broadband connectivity to 2 lakh gram panchayats by March 2020. As of November, 1,28,000 gram panchayats have been already connected, and these connectivity initiatives are taken under BharatNet project. If we talk about BharatNet project, it was launched in 2017. It is an initiative of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Present Minister is Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad. His constituency is Patna Sahib. He is Law Minister also. And recently, Law Ministers Conference held in Sri Lanka, and Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad represented India in this conference. Sri Lanka was in news as recently South Asia's tallest tower was inaugurated in Colombo, and the name of this tower is Lotus Tower. Which state is to legalize cultivation of cannabis for medical and industrial purpose? Right answer is Madhya Pradesh. So recently, Madhya Pradesh government has decided to legalize the cultivation of cannabis for medical and industrial purpose. So the government has decided to allow farming of hemp. It is a type of marijuana, and it will be used for medicinal purpose like treatment of cancer, and it will not be used for consumption or for trading. Presently, hemp is already being cultivated in Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Now, if we talk about Madhya Pradesh, recently Madhya Pradesh announced that state government will provide 5% reservation to athletes in government job. Apart from that, Madhya Pradesh was also in news as recently former Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Mr. Kailash Joshi, passed away. Madhya Pradesh was also in news as it was the host of Almi Tablighi Ijtema. It is world's biggest Islamic congregation, and this congregation held in Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh. What is India's rank as per 2019 Global Terrorism Index? Right answer is 7th. So India is on 7th position in the list of countries most affected by terrorism, and this Global Terrorism Index was released by Sydney-based IEP, that is Institute for Economics and Peace. Now, as per this report, India is on 7th position in terms of most affected by terrorism, and as per this report, Afghanistan is the most affected country due to terrorism, and Taliban terrorist group of Afghanistan has been ranked first as the deadliest terror group. On the other hand, if we talk about India-specific terror groups, 3 most active terrorist groups are Hizbul Mujahideen, Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba, that is LET. So As per Global Terrorism Index, India is 7th most affected, Afghanistan is most affected country, and Iraq is second most affected country. Nigeria is third most. Which institute has recently won Asia's Best Digital Marketing Institute Award? Right answer is Digital Gurukul Indore. So recently, Digital Gurukul Indore won the award for Asia's Best Digital Marketing Institute. If we talk about Indore, it is in Madhya Pradesh, and recently Madhya Pradesh was in news and state government appointed Mr. Govinda as the ambassador of state to promote tourism. Madhya Pradesh was also in news as recently state government announced that sportsperson will get 5% reservation in state government jobs in state of Madhya Pradesh. Apart from that, Madhya Pradesh was also in news as recently it decided to adopt NCERT courses in 9th and 10th class in government schools. Madhya Pradesh was also in news as recently state government launched Mukhyamantri Kanya Vivah or Nikah Yojana. Which Indian-born politician has been recently elected for the first time to the new cabinet of Canada? Right answer is Ms. Anita Anand. So Canada's Prime Minister Mr. Justin Trudeau unveiled new cabinet and Ms. Anita Anand has been included in his new cabinet. Ms. Anand is India-born politician. If we talk about Canada, it is a member of G7 group. Recently, G7 summit held in France, and in 2020, G7 summit will be in USA. Recently, USA was in news because of Tiger Trump. This was the first ever India-US Armed Forces Tri-Service exercise. France was also in news as the UNESCO General Conference held in France in Paris. This was 40th conference. Which state has launched a scheme to provide free Wi-Fi services to its capital for 1 hour each day? Right answer is Karnataka. So recently, Karnataka state has launched a scheme to provide free Wi-Fi services to Bengaluru for 1 hour each day. Now, if we talk about Karnataka, it was also in news as recently it announced its decision to install GPS devices in garbage trucks. The decision was taken to address the problem of corruption in garbage disposal. Apart from that, Karnataka was also in news as it was the top state as per India Innovation Index. The index was prepared by Niti Aayog. Karnataka was also in news as it is top performing state as per SARAL. SARAL stands for State Rooftop Solar Attractiveness Index. Karnataka was also in news as recently Karnataka State Tourism Development Corporation and IRCTC signed a memorandum of understanding for Golden Chariot train. If we talk about IRCTC, it is Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation Limited. And if we talk about Golden Chariot train, it is a luxury train which was suspended by Karnataka government on the account of huge loss. So now IRCTC has signed a memorandum of understanding with KSTDC for the operation of Golden Chariot train. Which place organized world's first ever Muslim yoga camp in India? Right answer is Kotdwar. So the world's first Muslim yoga camp held in Kotdwar in Uttarakhand. If we talk about Uttarakhand, recently state was in news as it launched Urjagiri campaign to stop power theft. Uttarakhand was also in news as it was the host of this year Kaz-in. It is a joint military exercise between India and Kazakhstan. If we talk about Kazakhstan, recently Kazakhstan was in news as India-Pakistan Davis Cup tie was shifted to Kazakhstan's capital Nur Sultan. So this Davis Cup tie match is going to be hosted by Nur Sultan. Nur Sultan is the new name of Astana, and in 2017, after Astana summit, India and Pakistan became the full-fledged member of SCO. SCO stands for Shanghai Cooperation Organization and the headquarters is in Beijing. Singapore has recently signed an agreement on cybersecurity cooperation with which country? Right answer is South Korea. So recently, Singapore has signed cybersecurity cooperation agreement with South Korea. Now, if we talk about Singapore, Singapore government decided to ban advertisements on sugary drinks, and Singapore is first such country in world to do so. Apart from that, Singapore was also in news as world's first blockchain-based carbon trading exchange was started in Singapore. Singapore was also in news as Singapore is on top as per Global Competitiveness Index. The index was prepared by World Economic Forum and recently it was released. And this year, that means in 2019, Singapore is on top position while USA is on second position. Answer in comment box what is India's rank as per Global Competitiveness Index. Under which constitutional article the Government of India has decided to merge Union Territories of Dadra and Nagar Haveli along with Union Territory of Daman and Diu? Right answer is Article 3. So recently Government of India has planned to merge Union Territory of Daman and Diu with Union Territory of Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Now it should be kept in mind both these Union Territories are 35 km apart. So recently a bill regarding the merger of these two Union Territories was tabled in Lok Sabha. These two Union Territories are being merged for better administration and governance. Now Article 3 of Indian Constitution contains the provision for formation of new states and union territory. It includes increase in the area or reducing the area or altering the boundaries. Now it should be kept in mind that for Article 3, the Parliament need simple majority. Now for civil service aspirants, now your homework is to find out the difference between simple majority and absolute majority. Which city recently organized the 50th Conference of Governors? Right answer is New Delhi. So the 50th Annual Conference of Governors held in New Delhi in Rashtrapati Bhavan. And for the first time, the Lieutenant Governors of Union Territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh participated in this conference. So the state of Jammu and Kashmir was bifurcated on 31st of October into two Union Territories, Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and Union Territory of Ladakh. 31st of October is also celebrated as National Unity Day. And after bifurcation, Mr. G.C. Murmu was appointed as LG of Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory and Mr. R.K. Mathur was appointed as the LG of Ladakh Union Territory. And the previous governor of Jammu and Kashmir was Mr. Satyapal Malik, and recently he was appointed as the governor of Goa. Etawah Lion Safari, one of the biggest safari parks in Asia, is located in which state of India? Right answer is Uttar Pradesh. So Etawah Lion Safari is located in Uttar Pradesh, and recently it was in news because it was opened for general public. Now if we talk about Uttar Pradesh, recently state was in news as the government has decided to set up first vulture conservation center of Uttar Pradesh. Apart from that, state was also in news as recently state government launched a campaign against Malaria. It is an immunization campaign against Malaria. Apart from that, Uttar Pradesh was also in news as recently in Noida, India's biggest charkha made up of waste was inaugurated. Noida is in Uttar Pradesh and this charkha was inaugurated by Women and Child Development Minister Ms. Smriti Irani. Uttar Pradesh was also in news as it is going to be the host of 2020 Defense Expo. Apart from that, state was also in news as recently first elephant hospital was started in Mathura in Uttar Pradesh. And recently, Elephant Memorial was also started. Answer in comment box on which highway this Elephant Memorial is situated. Who has received MMA Amalgamations Business Leadership Award 2019? Right answer is Mr. Azim Premji. So Mr. Azim Premji was conferred the 19th edition of MMA, that is Madras Management Association's Amalgamations Business Leadership Award. So this MMA stands for Madras Management Association. Which country is the host of SCO Forum of Young Scientists and Innovators in 2020? SCO stands for Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Right answer is India. So India is going to be the host of SCO Forum of Young Scientists and Innovators in 2020. Apart from this, India will also be the host of Council of Heads of Government of SCO members in 2020. Now, if we talk about SCO, it is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Total 8 countries are the permanent members of SCO. The headquarters of SCO is in Beijing in China. So out of these 8 countries, 4 are Central Asian countries except Turkmenistan, and rest 4 are Russia, China, India and Pakistan. Now India and Pakistan became the full-fledged member of SCO after Asthana Summit. The new name of Asthana is Nur Sultan. Now coming back to Council of Heads of Government of SCO members. So this year, this summit held in Tashkent, and Defense Minister Mr. Rajnath Singh represented India in this summit. Who has won the award for Best Actor in Asia Pacific Screen Awards 2019? Right answer is Mr. Manoj Vajpayee. So Mr. Manoj Vajpayee has won the Best Actor award for his role in Bhonsle, and this movie was directed by Devashish Makhija. Which city organized the India for Humanity Jaipur Foot event? Right answer is Washington DC. So recently, Indian Embassy in USA and Jaipur Foot celebrated 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi and organized a special event in Washington DC. And the title of this event was India for Humanity Jaipur Foot. If we talk about Jaipur Foot, it is a prosthetic foot. It is rubber-based prosthetic leg for people with below knee amputations. Which Indian city organized World Conference on Access to Medical Products Achieving the Sustainable Development Goals? Right answer is New Delhi. So this World Conference on Access to Medical Products Achieving the Sustainable Development Goals was organized in New Delhi, and this conference was inaugurated by Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan Singh. And the theme of this conference was Achieving the Sustainable Development Goals 2030. Now, if we talk about Dr. Harshvardhan, he is MP from Chandni Chowk in Delhi constituency. Presently, he is Health Minister as well as Minister of Science and Technology and Minister of Earth Sciences. Recently, he was in news as he launched Suman initiative. Suman stands for Surakshit Matritva Aswashan. Apart from that, recently Dr. Harshvardhan launched SANS campaign in Gujarat, and this campaign was launched to reduce child mortality due to pneumonia. SANS stands for Social Awareness and Action to Neutralize Pneumonia Successfully, and it was launched in Gujarat. The proposal for adoption of Patent Prosecution Highway, that is PPH program, has been recently approved in India. Now the question is, it will initially commence between India and which another country? Right answer is Japan. So recently, Union Cabinet chaired by Prime Minister approved proposal for adoption of PPH program. PPH stands for Patent Prosecution Highway. Now what exactly is this PPH? It is a set of initiative for providing accelerated, that means faster, patent prosecution procedures, by sharing information between some patent office. So this Patent Prosecution Highway program has been adopted by IPO, that is Indian Patent Office, and this is under Ministry of Commerce. So the benefit of this Patent Prosecution Highway would be that it will speed up the patent process. Now, if we talk about patent, it is a form of intellectual property. Now, this PPH will initially commence between India and Japan. Recently, Japan was in news as it was the host of P20. P20 was the parliamentary summit of members of G20, and this summit held in Japan, and from Indian side, Lok Sabha Speaker Mr. Om Birla led the Indian delegation. His constituency is Kota Bundi. It is in Rajasthan, and recently Rajasthan was in news as Jaipur was included into UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now answer in comment box which organization recently launched Generation Unlimited Initiative, and what is the objective of this initiative? The Union Cabinet recently nodded to the Hong Kong International Convention for Safe and Environment Sound Recycling of ships. In which year this Hong Kong Convention took place? So this convention took place in 2009. Now why this was in news? It was in news because recently Government of India nodded to the Hong Kong International Convention for Safe and Environment Sound Recycling of Ships. In addition to that, the Union Cabinet also approved the proposal for enactment of Recycling of Ships Bill. So this bill is related to proper recycling of ships, and this Hong Kong Convention is also associated to this recycling, and this convention was signed in 2009, and recently India gave approval to this convention. Now recently Hong Kong was in news because of protest. Hong Kong was also in news as Hong Kong's equity market has overtaken Japan to be the world's third largest in value. So equity market of Hong Kong is on third position, USA is on first position, and mainland China is on second position. Which city is to organize India-Pakistan Asia Group 1 tie of Davis Cup tennis? Davis Cup tennis tournament. Right answer is Noor Sultan. So Noor Sultan is going to be the host of Davis Cup tie match. Recently, International Tennis Federation selected Noor Sultan to host the matches. Noor Sultan is the new name of Astana and it is the capital of Kazakhstan. Recently, Kazakhstan was in news as joint military exercise between India and Kazakhstan, Kaz-Ind, held in Uttarakhand. Recently, Uttarakhand was in news because of Kalapani territory. World Television Day was observed on which date? Right answer is 21st of November. So World Television Day was observed on 21st of November. And this day is celebrated to commemorate the date on which first World TV Forum held in 1996. Who is the author of book On Fire? Right answer is Ben Stokes. So England's cricketer Mr. Ben Stokes is the author of book On Fire. He played a key role for England during this year World Cup tournament. Which bill has recently been passed by Lok Sabha? Right answer is Jallianwala Bagh National Memorial Amendment Bill. So recently, Parliament has passed Jallianwala Bagh National Memorial Amendment Bill. It has been passed by both houses. This bill seeks to amend the Jallianwala Bagh National Memorial Act. Now this amendment bill has a provision to remove the President of Congress Party as a trustee. Actually, the original Jallianwala Bagh Memorial Act of 1951 was enacted by the Parliament for the management of National Memorial to remember the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. And as per this act, the central government nominates 3 trustees for 5 years. And these trustees were supposed to be the head of Congress Party. Now, this new bill amends this provision and make this trust apolitical by removing the clause that is related to the appointment of President of Indian National Congress as a permanent member of trust. India has partnered with which country to tackle chronic air pollution of Delhi? Right answer is UK. So India has partnered with UK to tackle the chronic air pollution problem. If we talk about UK will have elections on 12th of December. And recently UK was also in news as Mr. Keith Waj, the longest serving Indian origin member of Parliament, retired recently. He was the longest serving MP of UK Parliament. The International Principals Education Conference 2019 held in which city? Right answer is Nagpur. So this International Principals Education Conference held in Nagpur and it was inaugurated by RSS Chief Dr. Mohan Bhagwat. If we talk about Nagpur, it is in Maharashtra and recently Maharashtra was in news as Mr. Devendra Fadnavis took oath as the Chief Minister. Maharashtra was also in news as recently Maharashtra government decided to start community radio channel for farmers. Maharashtra was also in news as it has topped the list of states in delivering justice to people. Maharashtra is followed by Kerala. Kerala was in news as recently it topped School Education Quality Index. This index was prepared by Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog was also in news as recently it released first ever India Innovation Index. Answer in comment box which state topped this index.
As per November 2019, who has become the longest serving Prime Minister of Japan? Right answer is Mr. Shinzo Abe. So Mr. Shinzo Abe became the longest serving Prime Minister of Japan. He surpassed the record of previous Prime Minister Mr. Katsura Taro. Now, if we talk about Japan, recently Japan was in news as it was the host of Summit of Parliamentary Speakers of G20 countries and informally it is known as P20. Now Japan was also in news because it was the host of this year Rugby World Cup. Japan was the host and this World Cup was won by South Africa and South Africa won it by defeating England. Recently, a Japanese company, Nomura Global Market Research, released a report and the title of the report was Food Vulnerability Index. And as per this index, India is on 44th position. Who has been conferred the Lifetime Achievement Award by ICMR? ICMR stands for Indian Council of Medical Research. Right answer is Miss Kiran Majumdar. So the chairperson and MD of Biocon, Miss Kiran Majumdar, has been conferred the Lifetime Achievement Award by ICMR. Now, if we talk about ICMR, it is under Health Ministry. And recently Health Ministry was in news as it organized first National Nutritional Survey, and this was the first ever survey in which the ministry measured malnutrition that included micronutrient deficiencies. And for this survey, the health ministry took help from UNICEF. And recently, UNICEF was in news because of Generation Unlimited initiative. Now, if we talk about Generation Unlimited, it aims to get every young person into school, learning, training or employment by 2030. Kailash Chandra Joshi, who recently died, was the first non-Congress Chief Minister of which state? Right answer is Madhya Pradesh. So Mr. Kailash Chandra Joshi was the first non-Congress Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh and recently he passed away. If we talk about Madhya Pradesh, recently state was in news as it has decided to provide 5% reservation to athletes in government jobs. Madhya Pradesh was also in news as recently state government appointed Bollywood actor Govinda for the promotion of tourism in the state. In addition to that, Madhya Pradesh was also in news as recently the state government has decided to legalize the cultivation of cannabis for the medical and industrial purpose. So the state government will allow farming of hemp. It is a type of marijuana and it will be used for medicinal purpose like treatment of cancer. Apart from that, Madhya Pradesh was also in news as on the occasion of 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Madhya Pradesh government decided to set up Sikh Museum and Research Center in Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh. Which city organized the National Tribal Craft Mela? Right answer is Bhubaneswar. So the National Tribal Craft Mela was organized in Bhubaneswar. Bhubaneswar is in Odisha, and recently Odisha government was in news as it launched Tikki Mosi initiative. Now answer in comment box what is the objective of this initiative. Apart from that, state government was also in news because of Drink from Tap mission. So for this initiative, state government has signed pact with UNICEF to provide safe drinking water. Odisha was also in news because of Bali Yatra. It is one of the biggest fair of Odisha. In addition to that, the state government was also in news as recently Odisha government along with World Bank and Government of India signed an agreement to support the farmers of Odisha. For this, World Bank will provide US dollars 165 million loan support. Who won the International Children's Peace Prize 2019? Right answer is Greta Thunberg. So, Swedish activist Greta Thunberg was awarded International Children's Peace Prize for her work in the field of climate change. In addition to her, peace activist Divina Malom was also awarded with International Children's Peace Prize for her fighting spirit against Boko Haram jihadi group. Ms. Divina is from Cameroon, and these International Children's Peace Prizes were given by Mr. Kailash Satyarthi. The Finance Commission has recently showed its willingness to make changes in GST structure. Who is the chairman of 15th Finance Commission? Right answer is Mr. N.K. Singh. So recently, 15th Finance Commission Chairman Mr. N.K. Singh proposed significant changes in GST structure to improve the GST collection. Now, if we talk about Finance Commission, it is constituted as per the provisions of Article 280. Finance Commission is constituted by President of India, and the Chairman of 15th Finance Commission is Mr. N.K. Singh. World Chronic Obstructive Pulmonary Disease Day is observed on which date? Right answer is 20th of November. So WHO and GOLD, that is Global Initiative for Chronic Obstructive Lung Disease, organize World Chronic Obstructive Pulmonary Disease Day, and this day is observed on 3rd Wednesday of November, and this year it was observed on 20th of November, and the theme was all together to end the COPD. COPD stands for Chronic Obstructive Pulmonary Disease. Which Indian Academy has received the President's Color Award? Right answer is Indian Naval Academy. So recently, President Mr. Ramnath Kovind awarded President's Color Award to Indian Naval Academy in Kerala. Which is the first Hindi newspaper that was recently launched in Arunachal Pradesh? Right answer is Arun Bhumi. So Arun Bhumi is the first Hindi newspaper of Arunachal Pradesh, and recently it was launched. The newspaper Arun Bhumi is published and edited by Takam Sonia. Now, if we talk about Arunachal Pradesh,
Recently it was in news as it celebrated Tawang festival. Arunachal Pradesh was also in news because of Himvijay exercise, and it was the first mountain exercise by Indian Army. Arunachal Pradesh was also in news as recently Defense Minister of India Mr. Rajnath Singh inaugurated bridge at Siseri River. This bridge was inaugurated by Mr. Rajnath Singh. As per November 2019, more than 18 lakh farmers registered under PM Kisan Man Dhan Yojana. What is the fixed minimum pension under the scheme? Right answer is 3,000. So, as per the PM Kisan Man Dhan Yojana, a minimum fixed pension of 3,000 rupees is provided to eligible small and marginal farmers after attaining the age of 60 years. Now, it should be kept in mind that this scheme is voluntary and contributory, and the farmers will get 3,000 rupee per month after attaining 60 years of age. Now, since it is a contributory scheme, so there is a age limit of entry, and the age limit is 18 to 40 years. Now, as of now, that means as of November 2019, more than 18 lakh farmers are registered under PM Kisan Man Dhan Yojana. Which company has recently launched a ThinkBook laptop for small and medium-sized businesses in India? Right answer is Lenovo. So recently, Lenovo launched ThinkBook specifically for small and medium-sized business in India. Which Indian city has installed first of its kind RT-PCR machine for quick detection of diseases? Right answer is Kolkata. So Kolkata has installed first of its kind RT-PCR machines. RT-PCR stands for reverse transcriptase polymerase chain reaction, and these machines are installed for quick detection of diseases such as TB, dengue, swine flu. Now, if we talk about Kolkata, Kolkata was in news as recently it was the host of India International Science Festival. The Science Festival was inaugurated by Indian Prime Minister Mr. Modi through video conferencing, and the theme of the Science Festival was Rise in India. Rise stands for Research, Innovation and Science Empowering the Nation. Kolkata was also in news as recently World Bank announced that for ease of doing business report, Kolkata and Bengaluru will also be included for better understanding of Indian scenario. So now total 4 cities will be considered for Indian scenario. These 4 are Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata and Bengaluru for the publication of ease of doing business report. Answer in comment box what is India's rank this year in ease of doing business report. Who is set to become the first female pilot of Indian Navy? Right answer is Lieutenant Shivangi. So Lieutenant Shivangi is going to be the first female pilot of Indian Navy. Prior to this, the aviation branch of Indian Navy had women officers only operating as ATC officers, that is air traffic control officers, or as observers. And this is first time that women are inducted as pilots in Indian Navy. Now, if we talk about Indian Navy, 4th of December is celebrated as Navy Day, and present Navy Chief is Admiral Karamveer Singh. Now, Indian Navy was also in news as Indian Navy is going to host Milan 2020. Milan 2020 is a military drill and it will be conducted in 2020. Milan stands for Multilateral Naval Exercise. Andhra Pradesh has recently signed an agreement with which institution to undertake a study to identify corruption in administration? Right answer is IIM Ahmedabad. So recently, Andhra Pradesh signed an agreement with IIM Ahmedabad, and IIM is going to study the issues related to corruption in administration. Now, if we talk about Andhra Pradesh, recently Andhra Pradesh was in news as it launched Smart Port Initiative. This initiative was launched for ease of doing business. If we talk about ease of doing business, recently World Bank released Doing Business Report, and as per that report, India's ranking is 63rd. Now, from next time, that means from next report, World Bank is going to consider 4 cities for preparing the ease of doing business report from Indian perspective. These 4 cities are Kolkata, Bengaluru, Delhi and Mumbai. That means the World Bank will now include Kolkata and Bengaluru besides Delhi and Mumbai for preparing ease of doing business report to provide a holistic picture of business environment in our country. the RBI has recently expanded the scope of SNRR accounts. Now what does S stands for in this SNRR? Right answer is special. So SNRR stands for Special Non-Resident Rupee Account. And recently RBI has expanded the scope of SNRR accounts. Now if we talk about RBI, it is Reserve Bank of India, and recently RBI was in news as RBI disclosed the major willful defaulters details as per the provisions of RTI. RTI stands for Right to Information. So as per the provisions of Right to Information Act, RBI recently disclosed the details of willful defaulters. Willful defaulters are those people who have the capacity to pay the loan taken from the banks, but they are not willing to pay to bank. Means they have taken the loan from bank, now they are not willing to pay that amount back. RBI was also in news as recently RBI constituted a committee headed by Mr. Tapan Ray to suggest norms for CIC, that is core investment companies. Present RBI governor is Mr. Shaktikant Das, and RBI was established on the recommendation of Hilton Young Commission. Which city organized International Tourism Mart 2019? Right answer is Imphal. So the 8th edition of International Tourism Mart was organized in Imphal, and this annual event was organized in Northeast region by Union Ministry of Tourism in association with Northeast states, and the theme was Sustainable Tourism, an engine for economic growth and employment. Now if we talk about Imphal, it is in Manipur, and recently Manipur was in news as it celebrated Sangai festival, and this festival is named after the state animal of Manipur, and the name of state animal of Manipur is Sangai. Manipur was also in news as recently Phaing village in Manipur became the first carbon positive settlement of India. Which city organized the 2019 edition of Manipur Sangai festival? Right answer is Imphal. So the Manipur Sangai festival held in Imphal. If we talk about Sangai, it is the state animal of Manipur, and Manipur was also in news as recently it hosted International Tourism Mart. This held in Imphal in Manipur, and the theme of this tourism mart was Sustainable Tourism, an engine for economic growth and employment. Apart from that, Manipur was also in news as recently it celebrated Sirui Lily Festival. Manipur was also in news as boxer Sarita Devi from Manipur was elected as a member of AIBA Athletes Commission. Lachit Divas was recently celebrated in which state of India? Right answer is Assam. So Lachit Divas was celebrated in Assam to commemorate the heroism of Lachit Borphukan. Now if we talk about Assam, recently state was in news because of Arundhati Gold Scheme. Assam was also in news as recently Assam State Commission for Protection of Child Rights launched Sisu Suraksha app. Assam was also in news because of two-child norm. Now as per this norm, the state government has announced that no government job will be provided to persons with more than 2 children. That means those who are having more than 2 children will not be given government jobs, and this initiative will be effective from 1st of January 2021. Assam was also in news because of Mission Talent Hunt. Now answer in comment box what is the objective of this initiative of Assam state government. Which software giant has launched K-12 Education Transformation Framework in India? Right answer is Microsoft. So recently Microsoft has launched K-12 Education Transformation Framework to facilitate digital transformation of education. Now a similar initiative was started by MHRD. MHRD stands for Ministry of Human Resource Development, and the name of this initiative was Operation Digital Board. Now if we talk about Microsoft, the CEO of Microsoft is Mr. Satya Nadella, and recently he was in news as he occupied the top spot in Fortune's Business Person of the Year. Present MHRD Minister is Mr. Ramesh Nishank, and recently he launched Thorough Initiative. Answer in comment box what is the objective of this initiative. Which Indian state has recently launched Arundhati Gold Scheme? Right answer is Assam. So recently Assam cabinet has approved this Arundhati scheme, and as per this scheme, every bride will get ₹30,000 from state government to purchase gold for marriage function. Now Assam was also in news because of Mission Talent Hunt. The objective of this initiative
is to groom sports talent in the state. Assam was also in news as recently Assam launched Sisu Suraksha app. This app is launched for the protection of child rights. Assam was also in news because of its decision that no government job will be provided to the people with more than 2 children, and this will be effective from 1st of January 2021. Which one is the rank of India in recently published report of WHO regarding physical activity of adolescents aged between 11 and 17 years? Right answer is 8th. So recently, World Health Organization published a report about physical activity of adolescents between age of 11 to age of 17. Now, as per this report, India was on 8th position. That means adolescents did not meet WHO recommendations of at least 1 hour of physical activity per day. Now, as per this WHO study, Bangladesh is on top position and USA was on 4th position. Now, if we talk about WHO, it is World Health Organization, and recently WHO was in news because of 3S program, as Government of India has decided to expand the 3S program of WHO. 3S stands for Smart, Safety, Surveillance. So Government of India is going to expand this program to make sure that the vaccines distributed under immunization program are safe and are effective. Who is the author of novel Swapan Pash? Right answer is Manisha Kulshrestha. So Ms. Manisha Kulshrestha is the author of book Swapan Pash, and recently Manisha Kulshrestha was awarded the Bihari Puruskar for 2018 for her novel Swapan Pash. The award was presented by KK Birla Foundation. The award is given annually to an outstanding work in Hindi or Rajasthani published in last 10 years. According to a recent report, which bacteria is found to be responsible for the death of thousands of migratory birds in Sambhar Lake? Right answer is Clostridium botulinum. So, as per the reports, Clostridium botulinum is responsible for the death of thousands of migratory birds in Sambhar Lake. This bacteria affected the nervous system of birds, which led to their death. If we talk about Sambhar Lake, it is in Rajasthan. The capital of Rajasthan is Jaipur, and recently it was included into list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites list. Rajasthan was also in news as recently it launched Jan Suchna portal, and Rajasthan is the first state of India to implement biofuel policy. Global Buddhist Congregation held in which Indian city? Right answer is Aurangabad. So Aurangabad in Maharashtra is the host of Global Buddhist Congregation this year, and the inaugural ceremony took place in the presence of Tibetan spiritual leader Dalai Lama. As of November 2019, which state or union territory has achieved the highest road length in country under Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana in 2019? So the question is about road construction in 2019, and right answer is Jammu and Kashmir. So Jammu and Kashmir has achieved the highest road length in country under Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. If we talk about Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, it is a scheme of Ministry of Rural Development. Now it should be kept in mind that it is not a scheme of Ministry of Road Transport. So it is a scheme of Ministry of Rural Development, and the objective of this scheme is to provide all-weather road connectivity to the unconnected rural areas. Now if we talk about Jammu and Kashmir, the state of Jammu and Kashmir was bifurcated into 2 union territories from 31st of October. And recently, Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir was in news as in Jammu, Directorate of School Education launched Aao School Chale initiative. The objective of this initiative is to increase enrollment in government schools. Apart from that, recently, Nistha initiative was launched in Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Answer in comment box what is the objective of Nistha initiative. Neelkant Khandilkar, who recently died in Mumbai, was a famous personality of which field? Right answer is newspaper editor. So Mr. Khandilkar was a newspaper editor of Marathi newspaper Navkal, and he was the author of few books including Practical Socialism. The Defense Minister recently visited Kranji War Memorial. The memorial is located in
which country? Right answer is Singapore. So the memorial is located in Singapore, and recently Defense Minister Mr. Rajnath Singh visited this memorial, and that's why it was in news. Now if we talk about Singapore, recently Singapore was in news as it topped the Global Competitiveness Index. The index was prepared by World Economic Forum, and as per this index, Singapore is on top and USA is on second position. Answer in comment box, what is India's rank as per Global Competitiveness Index? Singapore was also in news as the first trilateral naval exercise involving Indian Navy, Navy of Singapore and Navy of Thailand commenced at Port Blair in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So this was the first ever trilateral naval exercise between these three countries. These are India, Singapore and Thailand. Who became the new Prime Minister of Sri Lanka? Right answer is Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa. So recently, Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa became the President of Sri Lanka, and he appointed his brother Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa as the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. Now Sri Lanka was also in news as recently Law Ministers Conference held in Sri Lanka. This conference held in Colombo, and the theme was Equal Access to Justice and Rule of Law. And Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad represented India in this conference. His constituency is Patna Sahib. Now coming back to Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka was also in news as recently it became the first country in South Asia to criminalize offences against match fixing. Sri Lanka was also in news because of UNEP's Colombo Declaration. Answer in comment box, what is the objective of this Colombo Declaration? UNEP stands for United Nations Environment Programme.
Which singer recently matched the 24 wins of Michael Jackson for favorite pop or rock album award? Right answer is Taylor Swift. So recently, Taylor Swift tied Michael Jackson's record at AMA, that is American Music Awards, as she collected her 24th win of Music Award. Ban on which armed separatist has been recently extended for 5 years by Indian government? Right answer is National Democratic Front of Bodoland. So Indian government extended ban on Assam-based NDFB, that is National Democratic Front of Bodoland, for its involvement in violent activities. Now it should be kept in mind, NDFB was declared unlawful outfit in 1990s, and later this ban has been extended every 5 years, and it has been declared unlawful association as per UAPA, that is Unlawful Activities Prevention Act of 1967. Apart from that, recently central government banned Meghalaya-based honey trap, Meghalaya-based honey wet trap, National Liberation Council. If we talk about Meghalaya, recently Meghalaya was in news as it was the host of India International Cherry Blossom Festival, and the festival was jointly celebrated by India and South Korea. Which country has recently passed a bill allowing government to register bloggers, journalists and social media users as foreign agents? Right answer is Russia. So recently Russia's lower house of parliament has passed a bill that gives the government right to register bloggers, journalists and social media users as foreign agents. Now if we talk about Russia, recently Russia was in news because of sovereign internet law, and this law became effective from 1st of November. Russia was also in news as Russia was the partner country of this year India International Film Festival. This film festival held in Goa, and Russia was the partner country. Who became the youngest artist in the history of Grammys to score 6 Grammy Award nominations? Right answer is Billie Eilish. So Miss Billie Eilish became the youngest ever artist in the history of Grammys to score 6 Grammy Award nominations. International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women was celebrated on which date? Right answer is 25th of November. So International Day for Violence Against Women was celebrated on 25th of November. And the theme for this day was Orange the World, Generation Equality Stands Against Rape. Which rank has been achieved by India in 2019 Numerous Food Vulnerability Index? Right answer is 44th. So as per Numerous Food Vulnerability Index, India is on 44th position. Now if we talk about Numerous, it is Japanese company, and recently Japan was in news as Mr. Shinzo Abe became the longest serving Prime Minister of Japan. Japan was also in news as it is the host of Tokyo 2020 Summer Olympic Games. China is going to be the host of 2022 Winter Olympic Games. Apart from that, Japan was also in news because of PPH, that is Patent Prosecution Highway. And recently, Union Cabinet approved this proposal for bilateral patent prosecution highway between India and Japan. Who is the author of Hemant Karkare, A Daughter's Memoir? Right answer is Jui Karkare Naware. So Miss Jui Karkare is the author of Hemant Karkare, A Daughter's Memoir. Mr. Hemant Karkare was the chief of Mumbai ATS. Which national park is to be declared as 4th Tiger Reserve of Chhattisgarh? Right answer is Guru Ghasidas. So Chhattisgarh government has decided to declare Guru Ghasidas National Park as the Tiger Reserve. This one is going to be the 4th Tiger Reserve. Now if we talk about Chhattisgarh, recently Chhattisgarh government launched new industrial policy. Chhattisgarh government was also in news as recently Ambikapur in Chhattisgarh was in news because of garbage cafe. In this cafe, food is provided in exchange of plastic waste. A similar initiative was started by Bongaigaon district of Assam. As per this district administration, plant saplings will be provided in exchange of plastic waste. World Fisheries Day is being celebrated all over the world on which date? Right answer is 21st of November. So World Fisheries Day was celebrated on 21st of November. And on this occasion, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister launched YSR Matsyakar Bharosa Scheme. It is a welfare scheme for fishermen. If we talk about Andhra Pradesh was also in news as recently state government launched YSR Raitu Bharosa Scheme. And this scheme is for welfare of farmers. Apart from that, state was also in news as it launched YSR Vahan Mitra Scheme. Answer in comment box, what is the objective of this scheme? Who became the first Indian to be crowned Mr. Universe 2019 at the 11th WBPF Championship? Right answer is Mr. Chitresh Natsan. So Delhi-based Mr. Chitresh Natsan from Kerala has been crowned Mr. Universe. He is popularly known as Indian Monster in bodybuilding circles, and this event held in South Korea. If we talk about South Korea, recently South Korea was in news as it was the partner country for India International Cherry Blossom Festival. This festival held in Meghalaya in Shillong. If we talk about Meghalaya, recently Meghalaya signed an agreement with Dalmia Cement, and as per this agreement, plastic waste will be turned into fuel so that state can be made plastic free by 2022. Meghalaya was also in news as it is the first state of India to have water policy.
Who has been named as the PETA India's Person of the Year 2019? Right answer is Virat Kohli. So India's cricket team captain Virat Kohli has been named as PETA India's Person of Year 2019. PETA stands for People for Ethical Treatment of Animals. World Philosophy Day was observed on 21st of November. The day was instituted by which organization? Right answer is UNESCO. So World Philosophy Day was observed on 21st of November, and this World Philosophy Day was instituted in 2002 by UNESCO. UNESCO stands for United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. The headquarters of UNESCO is in France, in Paris. Recently, France was in news as it was the host of G7 Summit. Next G7 Summit is going to be in USA. France was also in news as recently it has decided to impose tax on plane tickets. That means aeroplane tickets. France was also in news because of GAFA tax. GAFA stands for Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon. And recently, Italy also decided to impose web tax. It is similar to GAFA of France. Italy will impose it from 2020, and Italy is going to host the G20 summit in 2021. And India is going to host this summit in 2022. This year, the summit held in Japan, and in 2020, it is going to be in Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia recently became the member of FATF. FATF stands for Financial Action Task Force. And recently, Sri Lanka was removed from FATF grey list.
The police of which city has recently launched robot Cybera? Right answer is Vishakhapatnam. So Vishakhapatnam police recently launched robot Cybera. Cybera stands for Cyber Security Interactive Robotic Agent, and this robot was launched for registering and disposing of complaints at police station in an effective manner.
So this robot will take complaints automatically through voice recording or manually. Now, if we talk about Visakhapatnam, Visakhapatnam was also in news as recently first ever BIMSTEC conclave of ports held in Visakhapatnam. Visakhapatnam was also in news as Tiger Tramp, the first ever tri-services amphibious exercise between India and USA held near Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. Which city organized the second edition of South Asia Safety Summit 2019? Right answer is New Delhi. So second edition of South Asia Safety Summit was organized by Ministry of Women and Child Development along with Facebook, and this summit held in New Delhi. If we talk about Ministry of Women and Child Development, recently it was in news as Bollywood actor Mr. Ayushmann Khurrana, UNICEF and Ministry of Women and Child Development joined hand to raise awareness about sexual abuse of children. Ministry of Women and Child Development was also in news as recently it decided to launch BPKK, that is Bharatiya Poshan Krishi Kos. Present minister is Smriti Irani, and recently she was in news as she inaugurated India's largest charkha made up of plastic waste, and this charkha was inaugurated in Noida in Uttar Pradesh. Which state has recently planned to ban the sale of junk foods in schools? Right answer is Gujarat. So recently, Gujarat government decided to ban the sale of junk foods in school and in the 50-meter area around them. Apart from Gujarat, recently, Singapore announced its decision to ban advertisements for unhealthy drinks with high sugar content. Now coming back to Gujarat, Gujarat was also in news as recently it banned putting no entry board in front of kitchens in the restaurants. Gujarat was also in news as recently Union government launched India's first ever foundation course Arambh. Answer in comment box, what is the objective of Arambh initiative? Africa Industrialization Day is observed on which date? Right answer is 20th of November. So Africa Industrialization Day is celebrated on 20th of November. It is a time when governments and other organizations in many African countries examine ways to stimulate the industrialization process in Africa. Who won the 2019 Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development recently? Right answer is David Attenborough. So Mr. David Attenborough, a renowned naturalist, has been conferred with the Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development. Now, if we talk about Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development, this award is given by Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust, and in 2018 it was given to Center for Science and Environment. In 2017 it was given to former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, and in 2019 it was given to Mr. David Attenborough. Which state or union territory hiked financial assistance to Christians for undertaking pilgrimage to holy places? Right answer is Andhra Pradesh. So Andhra Pradesh government increased the financial assistance to Christians for undertaking pilgrimage to holy places. The previous assistance was 40,000. Now it has been increased to 60,000. That means the state government is going to provide this financial assistance to Christians so that they can visit holy places. Now if we talk about Andhra Pradesh, recently state was in news as it launched Smart Port Initiative. The objective is to implement ease of doing business reforms on ports. Apart from that, state was also in news because of Raitu Bharosa scheme. This scheme will provide financial assistance to farmers. In addition to that, recently Andhra Pradesh was in news as it launched a toll-free helpline 14500 to report sand smuggling incidents. Which fast patrol vessel has recently been delivered to Indian Coast Guard by GRSC? Right answer is ICGS Amrit Kaur. So recently GRSC, that is Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited, delivered Indian Coast Guard ship Amrit Kaur, and it is third in a series of 5 fast patrol vessels. So it is Amrit Kaur, it is third, and recently second one was handed over to Indian Coast Guard and its name was any basint. If we talk about Indian Coast Guard, it is under Ministry of Defence, and present Director General is Mr. Krishan Swamy Natarajan. Indian Coast Guard was also in news as recently Indian Coast Guard conducted regional level search and rescue workshop and exercise, and this was conducted off Goa coast. Who is the author of book Trust Exercise? Right answer is Susan Choi. So recently Susan Choi has won the fiction prize at National Book Awards in New York. So if we talk about 2019 National Book Awards winners, Susan Choi won the award for Trust Exercise, and it won award in fiction category. In non-fiction category, Sarah M. Broom won the award for The Yellow House. In poetry section, Arthur Sis won the award for Sightlines, and in young people's literature category, Martin Sandler won the award for The Year That Changed America. Which country has been recently given permission by India to use Chandipur test range? Right answer is Singapore. So recently, India and Singapore exchanged letter of intent so that Singapore can use the Chandipur test range. If we talk about Chandipur, it is in Odisha. Now Singapore was also in news as recently Singapore became the world's first country to have blockchain based carbon trading exchange. Singapore was also in news as recently it became the first country in the world to ban advertisements for unhealthy drinks having high sugar content. Singapore is a member of ASEAN. ASEAN stands for Association of Southeast Asian Nations, and recent ASEAN summit held in Thailand in Bangkok. And during his visit to Thailand, Prime Minister Mr. Modi released a commemorative coin to commemorate the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji.
So these were the most important questions of 4th week of November. Thank you, and that's all for the day.